I think they have a new defensive coordinator. Last year they ran things a little bit differently, but I mean they're a team that's going to play tough. I mean obviously it's a rival, team. They view this game as a big game for them. It's a big game for us. I think it's our first real challenge, I guess you could say. But I mean every game's been a challenge. But I think this will be our first big test for us, and I think they'll come out ready to play. And hopefully we will too.
Is it a rival game? I mean, you're an Ohio guy, so do you view it as that?
I mean, obviously, growing up Ohio guy, you hear about the Ohio State-Michigan game. That's what I was raised on and everything, being from Ohio. But, I mean, coming here, I viewed the Pitt and West Virginia, that was the big rivalry. But since we got rid of that and Maryland's our other neighbor, I guess you could say, I mean, that's the next big rivalry. So I view it as rivalry.
And again, you're talking about cheat meals. That front of theirs is certainly having a lot of cheat meals by their size. That's a big front you're going to be up against this weekend.
Yeah, they're good size. They play hard. They got two guys in there that are 300 pounds plus. Their ends are 250. So I mean they're a good sized team.
So is the mission to be able to sit there and try to pound the ball on these guys?
I mean, obviously, I think we go into every game trying to establish the run, and I think that's their same game plan for this week. And hopefully we can do that. And I think once we can do that, we can open up the pass game. That's where we can really excel.
When you guys looked at the film from the offensive line, what are you seeing in terms of progression right now for you? Where have you guys gone from week 1 and now into week 3?
I think it's still a work in progress. I think we have a long way to go still. I think the two guards are making really good progress. Pankey and then obviously Tony and Bosch switching up back and forth at right. I think they're doing pretty well. Tackles are doing good. He's obviously does a good job. He's a return starter. He's doing really well for being a freshman and everything. So that's really worked out well. I think overall, I think we're going the right direction.
It's a switch with Kyle and Tony and guards. It seems like it's not really affecting you guys too much at this point.
No, I mean, obviously, I've said before, I'd rather have one guy in there all the time with me. But I mean, for the most part, they play. I can't really tell the difference between the two of them, and I think they both do a really good job in there. So they each have their own way of playing. So I'm just gonna get used to it.
What is one of these, to be a tell for the defenses or anything, what is one of the quirks of Tony versus Kyle being there? If it's anything from the sound of a voice to the way he communicates to anything.
Tony's probably a little more of, he can communicate faster, get, communication back and forth faster. Bosch is kind of more of a, what he communicates, he wants to get out of his stance, not get out of his stance, but kind of turn towards one of us. And if I'm ready to snap the ball, I'm probably not good if he's looking at me when I'm snapping the ball. So that would be a difference. I mean, they both, done a really good job. So.
Do you find yourself having to wait an extra beat and check him out to make sure he's back?
I glance over at him to make sure that he's ready to go before I snap the ball, yeah.
You ever call him out in the film room on that?
No, he sits in the back, so I leave him alone.
You talk about the ugly feeling in the pit of your stomach 2 years ago after this game, and then last year winning on the field goal, and now there's about to be a hiatus in the rivalry series. How important is it to end on a good note?
I think it's very important. Obviously, it's important for us to get it off to a 3-0 start. Like you said, it's a big rivalry for us. We want to, continue that and everything. So, obviously, you brought up the whole 2 years. 2 years ago what happened. I don't like thinking about that, but I mean that was really what made this a big game for me. That's where I lost my job 2 years ago. So I look at it as a very important game for us.
What do you remember most of all the memories of last year's game? What is the one that stands out to you?
I think, I remember the most, obviously Josh kicking the game-winning field goal to give us the win and everything, but we were sitting there, I want to say it was the second quarter, we were up by 21 points. We were pretty comfortable as an offense, and we come back out and, we're losing all of a sudden. So, that's, kind of remember that, and obviously we got to learn from that, and hopefully we don't do that again.
When you went back and rewatched the film from the last game, does anything stick out in the run game for you guys? Anything that you did well, and then maybe you want to kind of get worked on?
We do real well with our double teams and stuff like that, and the inside, and obviously our tackles do a good job of identifying who they're working with, the tight ends and stuff like that. So that's doing well. I think we have to come off the ball a little bit better. I mean, that's across the board. I think we have to, establish the line of scrimmage a little bit better. If we do that, I think we'll be all right.
That win over